Late one night, Mark sat alone in his dimly lit apartment, mindlessly scrolling through forums. He was an IT specialist, familiar with the ins and outs of the internet, but even he had never ventured deep into the dark web. Tonight, however, his curiosity got the better of him. An anonymous user had posted about a site called The Watchers, claiming it offered the ultimate voyeuristic experience. Intrigued and a bit bored, Mark followed the provided instructions, navigating through layers of encryption until he reached a plain black web page with the word Enter in blood-red letters. He clicked it, and a list of live camera feeds appeared, each labeled with a generic location: living room, bedroom, kitchen. It was mundane, but something about the anonymity and the stillness drew him in. Mark clicked on a feed labeled bedroom. The camera showed a small, nondescript bedroom, dimly lit by a bedside lamp. A woman was lying in bed, reading a book. He felt a pang of guilt but justified it to himself. It was just a website and she would never know. He watched for a few minutes before moving on to the next feed, labeled living room. This one showed an empty living room, sparsely furnished. As he watched, he noticed a door in the background slowly creak open. His heart raced, but nothing else happened. Feeling both uneasy and excited, he continued clicking through the feeds, each one more ordinary than the last. Just as he was about to give up, a new feed appeared at the top of the list: Mark's apartment. He froze, staring at the screen in disbelief. The feed showed his own living room, exactly as it was, with the same furniture, the same lighting, and the same pile of laundry on the couch. A chill ran down his spine. He quickly stood up and looked around his apartment, searching for a hidden camera, but found nothing. Returning to his computer, he saw a message had appeared on the screen: "Keep watching, Mark." His heart pounded in his chest as he sat back down. The feed switched to his bedroom. There he was, sitting at his desk, staring at the screen in real time. Another message popped up: "Turn around." Trembling, he turned slowly in his chair, eyes scanning the room. He saw nothing unusual. But when he looked back at his screen, the feed now showed a shadowy figure standing behind him. Mark's blood ran cold. The figure was tall and indistinct, more of a dark silhouette than a person. His screen flickered, and another message appeared: "You should have stayed away." Panic set in. He yanked the power cord from his computer, plunging the room into darkness. Grabbing his phone, he dialed, but the call wouldn't go through. He tried again and again, but each attempt failed. A soft, almost imperceptible whisper filled the room, seeming to come from everywhere at once. "Mark," it called, in a voice that was both distant and intimate. Mark grabbed a flashlight and bolted from his apartment, heading for the safety of the stairwell. As he ran, he heard footsteps behind him, slow and deliberate, matching his own pace. He glanced over his shoulder but saw nothing. Bursting out of the building, he ran into the street, gasping for breath. The whispers grew louder, echoing in his mind. "You can't run, Mark." Desperate, he flagged down a passing car and begged the driver to take him anywhere but here. The driver, sensing his fear, agreed. As they sped away, Mark looked back at his apartment building, now shrouded in an unnatural darkness. He stayed at a friend's house that night, but sleep eluded him. Every sound made him jump, every shadow seemed to move. When morning came, he decided to return to his apartment to retrieve some belongings. Upon entering, he found his computer on, despite having unplugged it the night before. The screen displayed a single line of text: "Welcome back, Mark. We've been waiting." The whispers resumed, louder and more insistent. Mark's vision blurred, and the shadows in his apartment seemed to come alive, coalescing into the same dark figure from before. It reached out to him with elongated, shadowy fingers. Mark's screams were swallowed by the darkness, and the last thing he heard was the chilling voice whispering, "You belong to us now." The next day, his friend reported him missing. The police found no trace of Mark, only his empty apartment and a computer screen displaying an eerie message: "Another soul claimed by the Watchers.